Niners visiting the Browns in Cleveland. Maybe, it was a good day for Ohio, and stuff like that, that sort of thing. Maybe Ohio gave its blessing to the boon of, the Browns and the Bengals, type of thing. But this game, I openly said that I thought the Browns coming off a bye, having 2 weeks to prepare, essentially mentally and physically for the 49ers, which is kind of what you need. The Niners being a very physical team, we all know their front seven, we all know their offense is very tough. McCaffrey's tough, Debo's tough, Kittle's tough. The only guy that I really don't consider like tough maybe on their offense is Ayuk, but even Ayuk, is adds a nice compliment that he's slippery, he's a good route runner, catcher, and good after the catch. There's just not very many things that obviously the Niners don't do well, And then it's like the Browns without Deshaun Watson, they have, PJN, to play. And essentially, they were saying on how, he's like the third string QB or whatever for this team and whatever else. But he played fine. I definitely think there were some things he got away with. The Niners did obviously play still very well on defense. I think the offense struggled because obviously McCaffrey, went out later than Debo did, but Debo did not come back, thus affecting their offense, which is what I've said is it's like this team's good on the Niners, but, you start to lose pieces and it becomes a little bit easier. It becomes immensely easier because of how good each of their starters is on like the offensive side and then in the front seven on the defensive side. But kudos to the Browns. I think they held up really well. I think that they showed that they are, finally coming along as a team. I've said that, the Browns on paper have been very talented, for years now, and obviously with the quarterback change, they had, the last, full-time starter that they had technically was Baker, and they moved on from him just because of the rift between them for whatever reason, and then they went after Deshaun Watson, but their defense has always been really good. Myles Garrett, arguably, I would give him a slight edge over Nick Bosa because I think that he's been on a defense where it's like, sure, they have a good amount of talented players, but he doesn't have as much of a defensive front and linebacker core as good as the Niners do in order to back Bosa up and in order to use Bosa in the scheme that they use. Granted, they're both top tier players, but in terms of ends, I think that, Garrett holds the edge a little bit over Bosa. Hot take. It's kind of pick your poison because they're both, elite tier, top tier, at this point, first ballot Hall of Famers probably type of thing with pass rushing. But the Browns, they got it done. And I mean, people that are being shocked and acting like the Niners lost against some terrible team. I don't know how you can say that. Like they got Purdy off of his undefeated pedestal, type of thing. And they knocked a very solid team that, they were obviously prepared for. So good job for the Browns. And, we'll see how well they do going forward because I feel like they are definitely, they're obviously 3-2. They were obviously 2-2 coming into this game, a 500 team, but this team could be very good and very dangerous moving forward, especially if they can get Watson back and he can actually, stay healthy and hopefully start performing at a consistent level because a lot of inconsistency from him when he was playing.